like a catch-22, like getting caught up in the hurt for so long to the point where you don't want to leave it. And can't think of a reality without it, and don't want to move past it or grow past it. And like do it again. It's mindfulness for me. I think specifically like mindfulness meditation.
Like it's being in the present moment, being in tune with yourself as well as others and your surroundings. Yeah, that's how I would define it, because it does play a role with the self-awareness. But as far as just mindfulness, I think self-awareness might be more just an individual, and then mindfulness is more generalized. Yeah. Either way, but you definitely have to be mindful in knowing who you are, and that's where it comes into that self-awareness as well. Because if you know you're that type of person, you'll see that, those results happen for you, especially if you're trying to already implement it anyway.
One thing that I am mindful of, since we're on like routines and everything, one thing that I am mindful of, because when I was doing this, it really worked for me. I need like 2 hours of no technology before bed. I don't do it all the time. But the times where I was doing it, it helped. So I had the best sleep of my life. I was getting up and doing what I needed to do in the morning. Like I need like to shut my phone off and my MacBook off at like 10 o'clock. And then like, I can still be awake. But then like around the time 11 o'clock comes, my brain's not like overactivated by like light. You know what I'm saying? And and then I can actually like go to sleep and have like a peaceful rest, because like my body's naturally mellowing down.
I need to try that.
It helped. The time when I was doing it, it helped a lot.
Oh, okay.
It helped a lot. It does take discipline, because it basically means like you're not talking to your friends at 10 o'clock like every night, which I definitely
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to come back with that, but I struggle.
Yeah, I do. But it's like, that's where like, mindfulness and self-awareness comes in, of like knowing what you need, knowing what works for you, and then implementing it. It's hard.
It is. I try to make my cutoff 9 o'clock. Well, I went from 10 down to 9 because I saw 10 was not working. So I was like, try 9. Let's see if that works. Still ain't working. But we go find a way. But I might try that the 2 hours before just to see.
When I think about mindfulness, I think about transcendentalism. I learned about it in high school. We had to do a project. It's, I think, my freshman or sophomore year. And when you guys were talking about meditation as well, I was thinking I literally had to do a whole project on the whole transcendentalism movement, and I don't know, one of the things was like getting out in nature. So I did this like meditation. I had to do like a blog post about it, like make a website. And I literally sat on our patio deck thing, laid down a towel, and just was looking at the sky and just sat there, y'all. I just felt like it was just so peaceful. It was just so in the blue sky and the clouds were actually clouds, so pretty, and it was just like so. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I get why they had this like belief, because I literally felt like so like, I thought about mindfulness. I thought about that, like the transcendentalism movement and everything, and then also when I think about it, it's like people can be mindful as high as they can be self-aware. Because, like you said, being self-aware is thinking about yourself, and kind of like thinking about like the external. If you can't think about anybody else except yourself, you can't really like be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Just like with self-aware, if you can't really accept the bad in you or whatever, then you can't really think about or accept the bad in people or the parts of people that you don't really like. And accepting people for who they are. I feel like that's another hard thing. Because it's like understanding that you're not you specifically, but you're not going to change. Or, like, I have to literally, I don't have to, because like, you can get out of my life, but like choosing to accept, like, this person may never change. And I'm going to, am I okay with that? And that's probably like, especially with family, it's just like,
gotta have the boundaries for that part. It's like, I'm okay with you in this scenario. Not this scenario.
It's just like, it's so crazy, and understanding like, okay, this is who they are. I have to like, I'm gonna accept them for who they are and just kind of move with it. Set my, like you said, my boundaries and my ability. Because I was listening to this like podcast sermon thing, whatever, and she was like, a lot of times we like to push our boundaries onto people and not like have our boundaries for ourselves. So it's like, if I know that you can't handle like a capacity of being responsible to a 10, why am I giving you access to me up to a 10? I need to give you access to me up to a 3. So it's like, I can talk to you about how are you, blah, 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 but I'm not going to give you the depth of me. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't handle that. So I'm not gonna. So to protect myself, I'm gonna allow you to have this much access to me and not this much access to me. And I was like, that's so interesting because I feel like I was pushing, my boundaries onto people. Like, no, you can't. Like, obviously you check people, and let them know like they can't do these things. But at the same time, it's like to a certain extent, you can't change people. They have to, like you guys were saying, they have to change themselves or want to change. And that's self-awareness, being mindful.
Exactly.
You know what's so interesting about that? I saw this thing like related to dating that was like, it was like a TikTok that was like, do you know the boundaries between having a guy who's a friend, having a boyfriend, and having a husband? Like, what's the difference between being a girlfriend and what's the difference between being a wife? And what's the difference between being a guy's friend? There are different tiers of access that each one of those types of men get in dating. And it's like not understanding that and not having like those, like having a mindful and aware idea of what those like boundaries are for you will cause you to get your feelings hurt. Because you gave someone who deserves level 2 access level 12 access, and they should have never been over here in the first place because that's not who they are and and based on your values, they can't really handle the responsibility of being that close to you in that way. So it's like it's kind of like that, where it's like certain people in your life are for certain spaces, and it's not because you love them any less. You still love them for who they are, but like they cannot handle the responsibility of deeper parts of you. That's just not who they are. Like, because you are a responsibility to be handled and held and taken care of people around you. If people can't handle that responsibility up to a certain level, they just don't get that access, and that's okay.
I have 2 things. So one is I genuinely feel, y'all may have a problem with this, but this is my opinion. I feel like too many people nowadays are being a husband or a wife when they need to just be a girlfriend.
Yes.
You are not a husband. Do they put her? I mean, and I know some people are like, oh, they're against marriage, like the ring and whatever. Because
that's fine.
Whatever. That's fine. I want to get married.
Right.
I want to sign the paper. I want to be married. That's me. But it's like, I know some women that are literally doing things. Everything. Girl, he don't need to marry you. He don't need to marry you because you're doing it. And that's like no like shade to people that are doing it, but it's just like you are giving access to this person to things that they should receive after they commit to you fully. And even if you do get married, people can still cheat and not commit. But I'm just saying, like, you are giving certain access that shouldn't be given. Like, just shouldn't be given. And I know, like, and I've said this to other friends, to my sister too, and I was just like, I feel like you are acting like a wife. And this is not to be shady, but I was just like, I feel like, you were acting like a wife instead of a girlfriend. And to her, she was like, I'm just being a good girlfriend. And I was like, we just don't see it the same. We don't see it the same. Like, I just feel like things that you're doing, if I'm dating a guy, I mean, just in general, because I know other women cook, clean, do their laundry, blah, blah. I ain't touching not one of your drawers. I ain't cooking you. I mean, we can have a date night. But I'm not cooking for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to make this a norm.
I'm not going to get
the things I would do for you on the regular as a norm as a wife, I'm not going to make that the norm.
It's me. I'm not doing it because I don't want you to think that you can get this part of me before you commit to me. I just bringing it back to that, just like the access and everything and having those boundaries for me, I'm like, I really need to like do better, with like people that I interact with or just even friends and family, like put a boundary with one family member. We don't talk, and I'm like, I love you. If something happened, you there for me, I'm there for you. But I'm not gonna allow certain things for me to be treated a certain way to have you be comfortable.
Right.
You know, so it's my life. You are gonna have the access to me that I allow. And if you don't want to act a certain way, I love you, but goodbye. I love you, but I'm here. I love you, but
I gotta remove
myself because you're not gonna disrespect me and think it's okay and treat me any type of way because that's not gonna. That ain't happening here.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
not happening. So do you guys feel like this is completely? But do you set boundaries with your parents?
Oh yeah.
Now I do.
No, you do.
Oh yeah.
How is that going?
You wanna go?
I'll
go. Okay.
It's going okay now, just because like even though a lot of conversations I've not had out loud with my parents yet, I think they're starting to understand. I think just like in them getting older, they're starting to understand like on their own, like, okay, if I want a relationship with my kids, I can't act a certain way. Because my mom has said certain things in passing, not directly like I apologize for acting 1, 2, 3, but she said certain things in passing like, oh yeah, when you do X, Y, and Z, you ruin the vibe for everybody, and nobody can enjoy themselves. And she said those things in passing because the things she's criticizing, she used to do. So it's like, I feel like for me, my parents are kind of like practicing mindfulness and self-awareness in that way, and practicing like understanding like what works to actually have a healthy relationship with their kids and what doesn't, you know? So for me, it's going pretty okay. Certain things just like, I'm not picking up the phone but being like, hey, I'll call you later. Oh, I'm going to take care of the dishes, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it like in an hour. Instead of you just like telling me to do something and expecting me to do it right now because I'm your daughter, it's like, no, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it on my own time because I'm all a human being with my own plans and things for the day. So I'm going to take care of it, but it's not going to be the time when you want it, but it's still going to get done.
Right.
You know? And like just establishing that. And even up to the point of like, I'm getting better now at expressing to my mom when she's disappointed me, which is really, really hard, and something that even as I say it sounds disrespectful, because she's had moments where like she should have she should have showed up for me more than what she did, and I've expressed that the same way she's expressed to me 101 times when I disappointed her. I'm now like, okay, as an adult woman, I'm going to start expressing to my parents when they disappointed me, and the actions from them that they have put on me that I will no longer tolerate from them, because that's just not, as a human being, I won't take that disrespect, even if you're my parents.
So what does that look like? Because I'm in this space where I'm trying, like, I'm just in this space with doing this, with working with my dad and stuff. I love it. But I'm learning boundaries, you know, with my parents and stuff. But what does that look like where you're like, I'm not going to allow this type of behavior? Is it like a verbal, I'm not going to allow this type of, or is it just like a behavior? Is it direct? Is it indirect? Like,
I would say with this particular situation with my mom, there was an instance where like, basically, someone came over to the house. It was like an aunt of mine, and she came over and she was like pressing me to have a conversation that I did not want to have, and it was making me emotional, it was triggering me. So I told, and my parents were witnessing this as it was happening. So I told her, hey, I think we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. After we went through the whole rigmarole of like this argument, I was like, I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree. Let's leave it alone. I leave the situation, I close the door behind me. My aunt comes after me screaming at me and calling me disrespectful because to her I slammed the door. And she starts to scream at me. I'm like in shock because I'm like, the conversation didn't end like that. Why is she acting like that? Like she took it too far. My mom came back and told me it was my fault for the situation, which was not true and was not fair. I feel like she was just more so like upset that my aunt was upset, and I aligned with my aunt because that's her peer, but did not align with me because like, you know, that's just like, you know, Caribbean and Nigerian parents and African parents, like they have a way of just like, my kid is wrong, but the adult is never wrong, even if the adult is wrong. So I had a conversation with her, and it had made me angry for like months. It made me angry for like weeks, and like every day after that situation, I was so mad at her. And I feel like I couldn't have a conversation with her because I was just like, why do you constantly not show up for me when it's the most important time for you to show up? Like, I was getting attacked, but you said it was my fault. That's not fair. So finally we had a conversation about it, and I'm just like, I can't explain exactly how it came about, but I think it was just a moment for me where I was like, I have to say this or else I won't be able to talk to my mom anymore because I'm so mad. I'm so disappointed. So I told her, I was like, I was disappointed in you for the way that you treated that situation. That made me feel unseen. It made me feel unheard, and I don't think that was fair. Like, I just kind of like spoke my piece, and she was receptive to it to an extent. But also at that point, it didn't even really matter what she said because it was for me to get that off my chest. And honestly, she could have responded any type of way, and I think I would still feel some sense of peace because I got to say what I needed to say. And since then, I have not been mad about it anymore. I barely think about it now. It's kind of more like a learning moment I think about now, but like the anger it had over me, it's not there anymore because like I spoke my piece. And I think that's the important thing about boundaries too, is understanding that people may not respect your boundaries. That's very possible, but being there for like, this is for my peace of mind. I'm not like conversing with you about what you think is best, or I'm not making an option. I'm telling you what it is, and if you want to get with the program or not is up to you. But it is. But I'm telling you, if you give these actions, this is how it was wrong. It's not even a question. You know. So it's like it's hard to navigate. It's so emotional. It's so draining. But I feel like the little steps help.